we're going to come into a pigeon pose. Dylan, have you got a block there? So with your pigeon pose, either coming into pigeon pose, crossing the right leg in front of your body. And if this is strong, you can definitely take your block and place it under your right glute and see how you go there. If that still feels too strong, feel free to bend your left knee into your right foot. So any variation of pigeon, you want to feel comfortable in this pose, especially starting off in it. So gently making your way down, inching your arms forward, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. You can put a pillow or another block under your forehead if it's feeling uncomfortable here, or you can look up halfway. So just arriving in your mat, taking the support you need, coming into your breath and just taking a few breaths here. Really feeling your belly inflating against your shin as you inhale. As you exhale, just watching the air leave your body. Keeping the right foot flexed if you can. And just practicing today, focusing on gratitude. Gratitude that we have bodies that enable us to move in this way. That we have this wonderful community that we can keep connecting with every time we come to the mat. I'm grateful for everything that we have in our life. So just focusing on gratitude today as you practice. Being mindful to not want things to be different, just to be happy with things the way they are. So on the next inhale, we're just going to halfway lift and walk our hands over towards the right. We're still in our pigeon. You can cross the left hand over the right if that feels okay. Give yourself a little bit of a twist, but otherwise just hands on the mat over to the right. Taking 2 breaths here. If you're feeling anything in the knee, don't be in this shape, please. So bringing your left knee into your right arch of your foot. If you're feeling any sensation in the knee, or otherwise you can roll onto your back. Inhale, coming back to center. Keeping the right hand on the mat, we're going to thread the left arm underneath the right armpit. No, I always do this the wrong way, other way. Threading the right arm underneath the left armpit. So here, removing your block if you've got a block under your thigh. Or if it feels nice, you can leave the block there. And we're just going to have one more breath with the right arm threading underneath the left. And then inhale, coming back to center, walking your hands back towards your shin and swinging your left leg around on top of your right. So take your block and place the block under your left knee here, between your left knee and your right foot. And then inhaling your arms out to a T. Let's cross the right arm underneath the left. Holding onto your wrists or bringing your palms together. Inhaling, lifting your arms up towards the ceiling, squeezing the forearms together. And then exhaling, rounding your back, bringing your elbows towards your belly button. Inhale, coming up. Maybe following the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, curling in. Inhale, coming up. Releasing the arms, removing the block from under your left foot, and we're just going to bring the left shin down onto the mat and sweep the right leg around to come onto the other side. So just checking where you are on this side, placing the block under your left shin if you need to, or bringing the right knee into the left arch of the foot. And then wherever we are, starting to walk forward into a forward fold in our pigeon pose. Breathing into the sensations in the hips. Feeling grateful that we've got hips and hip joints that move in this way. Keep the left foot flexed if you can. And come into the breath, breathing in and out slowly. Nice, nourishing, long breaths. After the next exhale, we'll inhale to halfway lift and start to walk our hands over to the left. So you can have the hands, the palms flat on the floor, or you can interlock the right hand over the left if that works for you. And then taking a couple of breaths here. Noticing any changes in the sensation. Again, we don't want any sharp pains in the knee under any circumstances. So if you're feeling anything in the knee, do come out of it. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhaling, threading the left arm under the right armpit. Keeping under your right armpit, if you can. Just taking a breath here. Exhaling. Inhaling, removing the left arm, walking your hands on your fingertips back towards your shin and bringing the right leg across the left. So right ankle on left knee towards right ankle. If you need the block, placing it under the right knee, between the right knee and the right ankle. And then inhale, opening your arms out to the side and coming into eagle arms on the other side. So left arm under right. Inhale, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling. As if we're going to paint a rainbow over to the right, lifting and leaning to the right. Inhale, coming back. Lifting up, painting a rainbow to the left. Inhale, coming back. Releasing the arms. Releasing the legs. Feet to the mat, knees are bent, fingers point out towards the sides. Inhale, lifting up into a reverse bridge. Squeezing the shoulder blades together to lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Squeezing those glutes. And then exhale, hips to the floor, coming into a wide-legged position. So again here, you can definitely sit on a block because you want to be on the front part of your hips. From there, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to move our right hand down our shin. If we can hold onto the front of the foot, the top of the foot, and push it away, do that. Otherwise, anywhere along the shin. And inhale the top arm up and over. Opening the body towards the top of your mat. Really feeling that stretch out of your left hip all the way to your left fingertips. Pushing against the top of your foot with your right hand or your shin, wherever you are. And then inhale, coming up through center, over to the other side. So left hand onto the top of your left foot or onto your shin. Right arm sweeps up and over. Making sure the chest is open to the top of your mat. Maybe you're gazing up at the ceiling a little bit. Taking a breath or two here. And then gently coming into a forward fold. Flexing the toes towards your face, opening your heart towards the front of your mat, inching your fingers forward, belly to spine. You can drop the head here if that feels good for you. You can put the head on a block. There's no destination. So just breathing into the stretch, seeing how the shape feels best for you. Taking 2 breaths here. Very nice. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself up to a seat. Taking the block to one side, we're going to bend our knees. You can bring your feet onto the mat and peace grip the big toes with your index and middle finger, thumb over the top, and inhale, opening the legs out to the side. So your legs don't have to be locked out or straight at all. But just make sure that you're squeezing the shoulder blades forward, extending out of the lower back, opening the chest. And then as you exhale, bring the legs together, pulling that belly into the spine. Exhale, opening the legs out to the side. Inhale, squeezing them together. So from here, you can stay here, or you can gently let go of the toes and come into your Navasana. You can hold on to the back of the thighs. You can definitely hold on to the back of the thighs and bend your knees as well. So any shape where you feel comfortable and balanced, pulling the belly into the spine. Then we're gently going to lower ourselves down onto our lower back, shoulders and legs off the mat, squeezing the whole inside chain of the legs. And then bending the knees, coming back up to Navasana. One breath there, legs bent or straight. You can hold the back of the thighs, no right or wrong, no judgment. Just doing what feels good in your body. Exhale, lowering down to low boat. Sucking the belly in towards the mat. Locking the legs, engaging them from your hips all the way through the inner thighs, knees, calves, ankles, heels. And then very gently coming down to a lying position. So just taking a moment here, you can straighten yourself on your mat if you've come off it like I have. Taking a big breath in, letting it go through the mouth. And then bending the knees for your bridge pose. So heels underneath. We're going to take the block as we curl the hips up, squeezing the glutes, and place the block underneath the hips. Any level that you like, but you just want to feel support. Maybe you're going to lengthen the legs down the mat. If you do that and it feels too strong, bend the knees again. You can let the feet flop open. You might feel a stretch in a different part of the hip. And just taking 2 breaths here. Breathing into the sensation in the hips. Letting go of something as you exhale. Take another breath here. Exhaling through the mouth. And then bending the knees again, lifting the hips to remove the block. From there, we're going to rock and roll backwards and forwards, building up momentum as we go until we're going to try and rock ourselves into chair, or coming into chair any way you can, belly to spine, knees together, big toes together, heels apart in your chair pose. Bringing your hands to heart center. Exhaling, twisting, left elbow outside your right knee. Using the elbow, pushing against the thigh and the thigh pushing against the elbow to turn your heart towards the side of the mat. Push the palms together. And then on the next inhale, looking down, weight into the right foot, growing light in the left foot. Maybe we're going to sweep our back leg in to our warrior three. You need to bring your hands to the ground for support, of course. Why wouldn't you? Engaging that back leg. And then bending through the front knee, we're gently going to place the back foot on the floor, the whole foot, opening up into warrior two. So adjust your legs as you need, right knee towards the right side of the mat, pushing into the left blade of the foot, squeezing the shoulder blades together, arms reaching out, gazing over the middle finger of the front hand. And then reversing left hand to thigh, sweeping the right arm up and over. Reverse warrior two. Inhale, opening up in your warrior two, straightening the front leg. You can heel toe the back foot in. We're getting ready for triangle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap these glutes, these right glutes under towards the left thigh. And then reach your right fingers past your right toes if you can. And then bring your hand down to your shin or your thigh. Inhaling the top arm up, opening your chest towards the left. Maybe gazing at your fingertips. Taking a breath here, remembering to draw that right glutes in. Maybe you're going to reach your left arm up and over. From there, we're going to slowly come up through reverse warrior three. Reverse triangle. Just reversing the shape. And then we're going to come back into a triangle. We're just going to bend the front knee slightly to place the right hand on the shin or on the thigh. Left hand to your left hip. First thing we're going to do is open our torso towards the left side of the mat. Then we're going to come onto the ball of our left foot, onto our tippy toe. And using your leg for support, keeping your heart open, maybe float the back leg up into your half moon. So you're holding onto your leg with your bottom hand, your right hand. See how the shape feels with this transition. And then exhaling, stepping your left foot forward, sweeping back up into chair pose. Taking a breath here, knees and toes together, heels out a little bit, shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, hands to heart center, twisting over to the left. So you can actually hold onto your left thigh to get your elbow around in the twist. And then open your heart to the left. Squeezing the palms together. Making sure the belly's off the thighs. And then looking down, weight into the left foot. Let's bring our right heel to our glute. Opening up into warrior three, twisted warrior three. Engaging that back leg. Maybe flexing the foot. Noticing your balance may be different one side to the next. Just being grateful that we have balance at all. And then starting to bend the right leg, stepping the back foot down, coming into warrior two. So just adjust your feet as you need. Big bend in the left knee towards the left side of the mat, opening the arms away from each other, gazing over the middle finger, flipping the left hand, reversing your warrior two. Right hand slides down the leg as you do so. Inhaling, coming back up through warrior two, straightening the front leg without locking it. You can heel toe the back foot in, leaning over for your triangle. So lean first, squeezing those left glutes towards the right thigh, reaching past your toes if you can, and then dropping your hand to your shin or your thigh to find your triangle pose. So notice your torso opening to the right. Your whole side body's open. So you want to keep the shape when we come into warrior, into half moon in a minute. So let's inhale to reverse our triangle. Just for a breath. And then just taking that front knee off lock, reaching the hand down to the shin or the thigh, coming onto the ball of the back foot. So you have to, the tippy toes of the back foot, you just have to step them in a little bit. And then seeing if you can find your half moon in this way. If you prefer to come into it the traditional way with a block under your hand, of course you can do that. And when you're ready, gently stepping yourself back into chair, sweeping the arms up. Exhaling, widening the feet, coming into your yogic squat. Elbows into the thighs, thighs into the elbows, lifting the heart forward. Taking a breath here, maybe closing down the eyes for a second. And then gently, hands to the mat. You can come through a crow if you're feeling very energetic. Otherwise, we're going to end up on our tummies. So if you're coming into crow, shoulders forward of the wrists, knees into your triceps or outside your triceps, looking forward. Maybe lifting one foot and the other, or maybe lifting one foot at a time, or maybe not lifting your feet. Any way you want to get back to the mat, stepping or floating into our chaturanga, knees to the mat if you need, upward facing dog, or cobra pose, downward facing dog. Just taking a breath here, if you're here, letting something go through the mouth. And then inhale, coming forward, gently making your way down onto your belly. So reaching your arms back behind you, tops of the feet and pelvis heavy in the mat. Inhale, rounding your chest towards the front of the room. Maybe your arms float off the chair, the floor. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, rolling up. Arms reach back, shoulders squeeze. Maybe this time your feet float off the floor as well and your legs. So your pelvis is heavy into the ground. Pulling the belly button away from the ground. Exhale, coming down. So doing either of those two variations, or if you'd like to do the full variation, bending the legs up, holding onto the tops of the feet or the ankles. Inhale, squeezing the shoulder blades together, flexing the feet to pull the shoulders back, and then lifting the knees, opening the heart. Remember that belly button, pulling it off the mat. If you're not doing this variation, any variation is just as good. And then gently relax, bringing your palms under your forehead and your forehead to your palms. Taking a breath here. Exhaling to let something go. Just noticing the effect of the practice on your body. The energy swirling through your body. Back bends can be very invigorating. So just noticing, no right or wrong. From there, we're going to lift our head up and just bring our elbows under our shoulders, opening our heart for Sphinx pose. The tops of the feet on the mat, hips into the mat, using the elbows to lift the body, pushing away from the elbows in your Sphinx pose. Nice, opening that heart. And then exhale, lowering yourself down to the mat, bending your right knee out to the right, and threading your left arm under your right armpit. Maybe you're going to bring your head to the floor. Maybe you're going to roll over onto your back. So your knee stays bent, your left arm comes behind you. It doesn't necessarily have to reach the floor. So just breathing into this space, it's a different kind of twist. One more breath here. And then inhale, rolling all the way onto your back. Left arm out to the side, bringing your right leg into your half happy baby. It really doesn't matter if you've rolled off your mat. We can't always keep everything in the tiny little boxes that we'd like to keep them into. So how lucky are we to have a practice where we can get lost and for it to not only not matter, but be a great feeling as well. From there, releasing that right leg, rolling back onto your belly, coming into the other side. So left knee out to the side, right arm under left elbow or armpit. Finding your shape here for a breath. And then when you're ready, rolling your left arm up and over. Finding that nice twist. Your left knee doesn't need to be on the floor. And if you want to support it with a block, of course you can do that. We're taking 2 breaths here. Softening something as we exhale. And then let's inhale the left foot up. Holding onto the left outside blade of the foot or outside ankle or shin. Coming into half happy baby on this side. Really getting into the hips tonight. It's a bit of heart opening. Maybe now we're going to lift the right leg up as well and come into a full happy baby. Keeping the sacrum on the ground. A nice flat back on the ground. If you can't reach your feet, just holding on to the outside of the legs. We're in an upside down crow. And then from there, keeping the back flat on the floor, we're just going to lift the legs up, lift the arms up. So I don't want any discomfort in the lower back. You can put a block underneath your back if you wish. Just make sure your back's flat on the floor. And if you want to, you can bend the knees. Just coming into this inverted shape. Breathing into your belly. Exhaling to let something go. 2 more big breaths like that. Deep breath in. Exhaling to let something go. 1 more big inhale here. As you exhale, start to shake the arms, shake the legs, get rid of all that energy. And then coming back to stillness, gently floating your arms and your legs down the mat. If you're off the mat, who cares? Closing down the eyes, taking a big breath in. As you exhale, letting go. Noticing the feeling in the body as you come into rest. Reminding the mind to rest as well. Relaxing all the facial muscles, your shoulders, your chest, your diaphragm, your belly, hips, legs, shins, feet, arms, hands. Soaking up a few minutes in Shavasana. On the next inhale, slowly starting to deepen your breath. Maybe bringing some movement to the fingers and the toes. Squeezing the knees in towards the chest. Little gentle movement side to side. And then gently rolling onto one side, knees down, arm out to the side. You can definitely use your bottom arm as a pillow. And just taking a moment to scan the body and just notice what's changed since you first started the practice. And then when you're ready, gently bringing yourself up to a seat. You can keep the eyes closed if that feels good for you. We'll sweep our arms up overhead, watching the fingertips gently touch, bringing the hands down through heart center. Inhaling, big breath up. Exhaling softly down. One more to complete the practice. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Palms gently come together. Exhaling the hands to heart center. Bowing our forehead to our fingertips in gratitude for the practice, for yoga, for having the bodies that enable us to practice. Namaste.